Oh my gosh, guys, what was I thinking? Who does this? Like, who does this? Hey guys, it's me. This is the look that I have got. I'm really excited that I did this video. It's really fun, just something to, experiment with and just get familiar with foundation. So if you guys are interested in continuing to watch this, watch me, do something crazy, then continue to watch, okay? And before you go, make sure you like, comment, subscribe below, share with your friends, you feel me? All right, let's just get right to it. Okay, so lately I've been seeing a lot of influencers doing this, and what they do is they mix all their foundation shades together and see what color they come up with, and I think it's very awesome and fun. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm literally going to be taking different foundations and just throwing them on my face and see what we get. And I think this is a good idea, not just because it's fun, but also just to educate, more on not just shade range, but how important it is to have the correct undertones. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so of course you guys know this is my baby, my OG, the Lancome high-end. This stuff is bomb. Like, it's worth every penny. Now, I got this in the shade 550. And the reason why I chose 550 was because in the wintertime, I kind of tend to lighten up a little bit. So my red undertones are less, neutral than what I would like it to be. There's not a lot of red in there. So the only bad thing is that it'll match my face, but it won't match anything else. So this is what the shade is looking like, if you guys can see. And then next, we're going to go into Too Faced Born This Way. Oh my gosh, guys, I love this foundation. I'm just going to put a little bit on there, but let's just put that there. And you can see the huge difference. It's got the more reddish undertones up in there. Okay, so we got the Lancome right there, which I think I put a whole bunch. I don't know why. And then we got the Too Faced Born This Way. And that actually is in the shade Sable. And me, you guys already know, I'm the shade in between. So it's not that there's not shades for me, but sometimes, often, because I'm always that shade that's in between, I get forgotten. So it's okay. And so I got the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. This is by far my favorite drugstore foundation out there. It keeps me very matte. It just works for my oily combination skin. It does come off a little bit drying at times, but for the most part, this is my go-to. Right here, NYX. Remember, that's Born This Way. So you guys can already see somewhat of the difference here. Born This Way and NYX is looking kind of the same. So we're good. So let's try another one. Okay, guys, and this is the OG stuff. This was like the second foundation I ever tried, aside from Mary Kay. This is the L'Oreal True Match. It's the oil-free, and this is actually the new shade that they had. I always got C.9, but I always felt like if they had a shade in between there, C.9, C.10, that it would be perfect. And behold, they did come out with a shade. It's C9.5. So I'm glad that they did that, because I was able to try it out, and it actually, it was good. So here we go. We got that C.9. As you guys can see, I'm sure you guys can see the difference in not only the shades, but the undertones. These are the only ones that kind of resemble themselves, which is the Too Faced and the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop, but everything else is kind of looking crazy. That's okay. Next, we're going to do LA Girl, the shade Chestnut. I kind of guessed this one. I didn't really go into details of what it would look like, but we're going to mix that too. So there it goes. It's this one right here. And so it's starting to look a little bit, let me see if you guys can see it. Okay. So it's starting to look like these. So I'm just a little concerned because the Lancome is kind of throwing it off a little bit, but that's okay. This is just an experiment. I was so unsure that I was going to include this one, but I love this foundation. I just wish that they had a shade. This is, again, one of those foundations where I feel like if they had a shade right after it, like in between, it would work, because the other shade next to it is a tad bit too dark and the undertone isn't right. But this is the closest that it said that it would match me. And this is Revolution Conceal and Define. And this is in F15. And I knew this wasn't my shade because I bought it and I thought it was my shade. But then I follow this other YouTuber and she's like 2 shades lighter than me. And she said it was her perfect shade. So I already knew, like, okay, that's not my shade. So here we go. So it's starting to look like the Lancome. That looks very much like those could be twins. Wow, that's crazy. You see, you guys? I hope you guys are learning something. Okay, and last but not least, I think I was really hesitant on including this foundation, but it is the Fit Me Maybelline. It is in the shade 370 Deep Bronze. So this one is a little tricky, but I will say that with this foundation, I know there's mixed reviews about it, but my personal experience, I love the formula. Like, I feel like the formula is wonderful. Like, I really wish that it worked for me, like as far as the color. I don't know how to describe it. It's like all of the shades that they did have, it was just off. Like, it just wasn't my shade. The undertone was giving me goldish undertones, despite it saying that it was red. And I don't know, like, it was just really weird. So, even though I just put it right there, but this is what it's looking like. Again, it's not like terrible, but it's looking more like the Lancome that you guys see in the Makeup Revolution. Again, I think maybe it just wasn't my shade now, but it just didn't have the red undertones that I was looking for. The shades here, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix them all together and see what shade we get. Okay, guys, I've done my mixing. Come on, focus, camera, and this is what it's looking like. I'm a little concerned, but hey, this is what, you know, ain't no turning back now. So let's just go ahead and start applying this. I hope I put enough on here, but I'm just go ahead and mix this together here. Because we're crazy. No, we're not crazy. We just like to explore, you know? That's what it is. We just like to explore. So okay, guys, this is it. All of the foundations mixed together. I don't know how to feel about this because it's right now it's looking kind of flawless right now. I mean, I do see a little hint of grayness going on, like a little bit. Let me know if you guys see it, what I'm seeing, because I am seeing like a little slight hint of gray or hint of gray. But for so far right now, this is looking really nice, like really nice. So I did purchase the Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer and I really want to try it, but I don't know where I'll put it. It's so weird. So we're just going to go in with my go-to concealer, which is the Revolution Superside Conceal and Define. First off, let me just praise them for just the fact that I'm able to sit here and still have this. Like, the other one, I was running out of this stuff like crazy. And this one I've had for a minute, so that means there's a good amount of product in here. So, yeah, that's just really annoying that I can't find it. Like, you guys know how you guys know you bought something, you placed it somewhere, and it's like, you can't for the life of you think of where you could have put it. Like, where could I have put it? But it's all right though, because I have so many options of concealers. I got too many. Maybe I should do that one next, mixing my concealers, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We just go focus on the task at hand, which is these foundations, okay? This is looking like my concealer was doing some weird thing where it wasn't blending properly. So that might be an effect of all of the foundation, different, ones that I mixed. So yeah, it was doing this weird thing, but I'm not gonna give up hope right now. So yeah, the setting powder I'm gonna choose is the Can't Stop Won't Stop in Banana. I went to Target to get this. I didn't even expect to see this at Target, to be honest. But, the Target limited stuff. So all they had was the banana. So I was like, let me just get it and just try it out. So I'm going to go ahead and set my face. Because with all of the stuff that I just put on my face, we need this to hold up. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. Has a scent. Okay guys, so this is what my face is looking like. I am back. I just put on some lashes, of course, did some little eyeshadow with the Juvia's Place. I didn't do that much. I just used what is this color right here. I'm not going to say the names, guys, because I don't know how to pronounce them. I used this green. It was starting to look kind of crazy, so I just put it on top of this blue right here. Oh gosh, I forgot to put in some inner. What am I doing with my life? Guys, you guys didn't even tell me. Some inner corner highlight though. I'm gonna need that. Okay. We can put some blue on here. Okay, so I'm gonna use this really bright blue. Just go ahead and put that up in there. Oh, that's so pretty, guys. Look how pretty that is. Just put it right up in there. Right there. Somewhere right there. Okay, so that's that. I'm done. Let's just talk. Because my makeup is popping still. Like, okay, so I'm really loving how the outcome came. I will say that I did have trouble blending my concealer. Like, it was doing some weird thing where it was like sticking and not really going over, but I overcame it and I was able to still get a look out. So overall, my experience with mixing the foundations, I think it came out pretty good. Like, I didn't look super crazy. For the most part, even though I had some shades where they seemed a little off, I think the other shades kind of balanced it out a little bit because they had the right undertones. And I had a lot of foundations that had the perfect undertone, and it mixed in with the other ones. It just gave it like this perfect balance. But yeah, so it all worked out. Doesn't mean I'm going to do that from now on. Let's not get it twisted, because I don't know how my face is going to hold up. I'll give you guys an update later about that. But overall, I just want people to realize that, yeah, I have so many different foundations, not just because, I love buying, makeup, but the reason why is because you'll find really good formulas out there, but the shade will be off, or the shade is perfect, or they just won't have the right undertone. So that's all I have for you guys today. Go ahead, if you're new, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. If you really love makeup and you really, just don't have a clue to start, I love doing this stuff. So despite who watches, how many followers I have, I'm going to continue to do this. This is what I like to do on my spare time.